What's up, YouTube? Today, I have a deck for you that I've been working on for a while and just brought back after hitting a little bit of a wall in Infinite. I also tooled the deck a little bit to be ready for the Diamondback meta that's coming in by adding Luke Cage, essentially. And I think it's well positioned into it anyway. It is a deck that runs Wiccan, so the general idea is, of course, curve out into Wiccan. 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. It doesn't run Quicksilver or Domino, but it has usually a lot of ways with Kitty Pryde, Maria Hill, Hawkeye, Kate Bishop to get you cards to fill out your curve until you can get to Wiccan. And then at the end of the game, you're trying to just do Wiccan things. Alioth is here for stopping their turn 6 plays. Shang-Chi to clean up the board, and then it plays Black Swan in the case that you don't get Wiccan or aren't able to get the correct curve. That way on turn 6 you can play Alioth and any of your 1s, which there's 3 1s native in the deck, and you also have Kate Bishop, who is providing arrows that you can play on turn 6 with Alioth if you have Black Swan active. The unique thing about this deck is Supergiant. If you do not get Wiccan, or even sometimes in some of these games you'll see, if you do, sometimes Supergiant is still the better choice, especially playing against decks that need turn 5, like Discard for MODOK, or Sarah decks, or Doom 2099 decks. If you play Supergiant on turn 4, they cannot proc their Doom 2099 on turn 5 because they're not playing 1 card, no matter what they do. So that's the general game plan. Let's take a look card by card and go over some of the details. So Kitty Pryde is really good in a Wiccan deck because if you play Kitty Pryde on turn 1, pretty much no matter what you draw next turn, you're going to be able to fill out your curve with Kitty in a 1 or a 2-drop. Scales late into the game. I used to play Angela in this deck, and she was great in that plan, but I took Angela out for Adam Warlock, and we'll get to that in a second. Spider-Ham. I play Spider-Ham a lot more than most people, I think. I just find it, especially in a deck where I want to play 1-drops, like my Moonstone deck or Zoo. In this deck, I want to be playing early drops, and I love just the little extra bit of disruption every now and then. Cube Thief. So Spider-Ham plays a really fun role in the deck. Maria Hill, obviously you want to get that 2-drop out if you need it for Wiccan curve. And just a chance to use a psychedelic background on some cards I don't normally get to see it on. Adam Warlock, I took Angela out, like I said, for Adam Warlock. You're usually going to be playing something on turn 1, which means that you have a decent chance of Adam drawing you a card on turn 2. My game plan typically is to play my 1-drop on the right lane. Most people avoid the right lane because they don't know what that location is going to be. I tend to play there because I think there's a higher percentage of advantageous locations than there are disadvantageous. And playing over there on turn 1 means that you have, I would put it at a higher chance of drawing with Adam on turn 2. So if you draw 1 card with Adam, I find it to be fantastic. So it also is Red Guardian target. It just really pulls its weight. I love the buff to Adam Warlock. I've been playing it in a lot of decks and just drawing cards and really smoothing out my plan. Black Swan, as I said in the intro, she allows you to play without Wiccan, turn 6, Alioth, and all your 1s. Just really helps out with those draws where you and even can be good on games where you do draw Wiccan, even though you have the energy typically. She allows you to just make plays you didn't think were possible. You end up getting more cards in hand at the end of the game than you'd think. Kate Bishop, one of the best cards in the game, great in Wiccan, smooths out your curve like most of the cards in this deck do, and the arrows can just really break the game. Especially Acid Arrow. Pim Arrow's great late in the game, but definitely a card that you should have in your collection. Just so flexible in so many decks. Luke Cage, adding in here because of Diamondback incoming, and also it's just very strong in this meta right now. If you don't have Luke, or don't think you're not seeing a lot of Affliction. There's definitely any number of 3-drops you can play. I think Rocket and Groot could be really good. Especially if I'm going to change this deck for Sanctum Showdown, I would add maybe Rocket and Groot to move the power around. Speed's really good in a Wiccan deck. Even though there's not anything extra going on here with Speed, like there's no Spectrum, there's no Moonstone. Speed just puts out a lot of power and helps us grab priority for the end of the game when we need it for Alioth. Shang-Chi is super good in this deck, particularly because of Supergiant and the way that it interacts. So a lot of times if I'm not doing Wiccan, I'm going Supergiant. I'm going to play Shang-Chi on turn 5, where I think they'll end up putting some large power. And even if I don't have priority, Shang-Chi is going to take out whatever they play on turn 6 in that lane. Supergiant, just a lot of tricky plays. There's nothing more fun to me than playing down Supergiant on 4, disrupting whatever they were going to do on turn 5, seeing where they play, and then following up with Shang-Chi blind and Alioth on their entire lane full of unrevealed cards. It's just very powerful. It messes with opponents. They don't know how to play around this card a lot of the time. Supergiant sometimes is even better than Wiccan in this Wiccan deck. Wiccan, also good in this Wiccan deck. Just so much power, and it's relatively consistent to get that curve up to Wiccan and get the extra energy. And Alioth, finally, just still such a good card. I kind of love that it's a 6/9 now. I know that they've said multiple times that it's not a buff to take something to 6/9 and take it out of Shang-Chi range, but when I used to play this deck before with 6/10 Alioth, it would get shonged, especially because I'm winning priority. It would, it would get shonged if I played it early. It would get shonged if I had to play it late just to get power on the board. But I do think it's so much fun with Supergiant, with Wiccan. You're going to have priority with Wiccan. With Supergiant, it doesn't really matter because they're going to put unrevealed cards on the board for Alioth to eat. But yeah, that's the deck. I'm going to get into some gameplay now, but thanks for checking it out. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like the videos, and I'll have more off-meta decks coming to you in the future. Alright, Wiccan deck. So obviously we're trying to play on curve all game. Spider-Ham and the Black Vortex seems like a good start. Ongoing deck. Possibly Dr. Doom 2099. Ooh, Project Pegasus is not amazing for a Wiccan deck, but we have enough to put down at least. So this deck plays Black Swan because if we don't get Wiccan on turn 6, we want Alioth into all of our ones. Low roll on Taskmaster for them. Supergiant is the backup plan if you don't draw Wiccan. Is Doom 2099. The good news is, oh, there's Wiccan. I think Supergiant might actually be the better play. Since we dumped most of our hand on turn 1, this allows us to stop them from activating Doom 2099 next turn. And then hopefully we draw into Alioth. Okay. So we definitely activate Black Swan. And there's Alioth. Let's see. Nice. Hopefully that hits something impactful. Spectrum, possibly. Perfect. It was a good win. Kind of showed what the deck's trying to do. What is with today and not drawing my 1-drops? I bet if we go left lane here, they're going to play in the other 2 lanes to prepare for the arc, and I should be able to draw a card. Mr. Negative incoming. Alright, so let's fight for priority. Magic. So now Supergiant we're going to go for on turn 6. Or turn 5 instead of turn 4. Ooh, hitting Iron Man. Gigantic there. Let's go Hawkeye here. Or do we just load up the left? This is actually lining up pretty nice. Alright, so now we Supergiant. Basic arrow. Or do we want to draw the Maria Hill, see what we get from that? So now we're going to have priority. Hopefully Alioth gets a bunch of nice juicy targets. Shouldn't boomer snap, but I'm going to. Mr. Negative seems likely to try to combo off when it is going for it on the last turn, so hopefully they stack the middle. Kang? Okay. Well, geez. Now I assume we need a Kang right. That was correct. Oh. Yet again, not a 1-drop on turn 1. I could do Quicksilver, but that kind of ruins the whole point of the deck. I think we just go into draw mode, hopefully. I think we just want to try to draw the Supergiant. Especially if they don't contest right here, it's guaranteed to draw this turn and next turn, thanks to Avengers Compound. Oh. Unfortunately, didn't get Supergiant. So... Maria Hill, speed. And I go in that order just in case there's a Negasonic with the Daredevil. They'll hit the Maria Hill and not the speed. If we Shang here, that could gain us priority for an Alioth next turn. Always activate Black Swan just in case. And then I think Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. So now the question is which lane to Alioth. I am leaning this way. Just in case they have their own Shang-Chi. Nice. Doom 2099 deck. Just try to deny their warlock draw. Definitely a Wiccaning here. Well, they will get a draw. So we want to do everything in our power to gain priority. So the right lane, they're going to get... This could be a Spectrum deck. They're probably going to get one. It's just going to be 18 or 19, maybe 20 there. And I could add 5 without other shenanigans. I think I'm going to try for a Shang in the middle. And then load this up. I will play early in Brooklyn Bridge to try to build up some priority. Up. Definitely seems like Clog, Titania, and Daredevil. Probably some goblins incoming. I do miss a way to deal with locations because Mindscape's been killing me today. So I want to remember to Black Swan next turn to dump my 1s before Mindscape. Oh, thank goodness. Don't have to worry about that. Supergiant. Actually, 7 turns. So no Supergiant. Instead, we'll just dump some of this. Thank you for that. Now Supergiant here to protect from Clog. Viper. Yeah. That's questionable. Ooh, Red Hulk. Okay, so assuming they play Red Hulk this turn, I would like to Shang this turn in the middle to snipe their Red Hulk at the end of the game. And then Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, activate Black Swan. Don't want to do anything on the right. Okay. So the left's already what it's going to be. Now we'll just Alioth. Doesn't seem like they played Red Hulk that turn, unfortunately. Actually, this is still good. Shang-Chi will still hit if they go Red Hulk in the middle. And then on the right, I think we just keep Jeff there. They're going to run, but we'll snap anyway. Well, surprising. So we will snipe that Red Hulk. Awesome. Great win. It's gonna be a kooky one. I'm just going to get Black Swan down in a safe lane in the middle. Oh boy. World Forge and Mill and Project Pegasus. Gonna be bonkers. Alright. Let's see here. Speed, Adam. Let's just try to ensure a draw. Oh, those are unfortunate. Cable twice. Chances are they got some goodies. Knock out the Cersei. Still have Alioth, which is nice. Wiccan is amazingly online somehow. They'll probably play right. So a Wiccan left. They got Hawkeye, which means I either have Shang-Chi or Luke in the deck still. I had Luke in the deck, so they have Shang-Chi. Fortunately, I don't have anything over 10. Until now. So, will they Shang-Chi my Wiccan this turn? Is the question. If so, I want to Alioth now. Nice. So they're for sure going to play on the right. Could just stack 9 here, but that's pretty low percentage. I think we just do that. Because they're going to play middle. So even if I put 9 in the middle, that's only 2 that they would need to cover. Just have to hope our pig is enough to cover whatever they're doing on the right. Okay. I'll usually try to play a 1-drop out to the right for Adam. It's not a guaranteed draw, but it's higher percentage since they don't know what that location is going to be. I want to get Black Swan down. Actually, I wonder. I think Wiccan makes more sense here. I'm sure they did not want that to happen. Does deny me a draw, though. Alioth. So this could be spicy. Alioth middle, Arnim Zola Alioth. Activate Black Swan. Kitty. Yeah. I don't know if this is the correct play, but it's too much fun not to do. So we're going to do it. In case they ignore the middle, Kitty Pryde will keep some points in there. And with Alioth on either side. Probably a better play to do just Shang there, but you can't argue with this play. Nice job, Adam. Got the 3 lanes. So that's the deck. Overall, had a good run so far. Gonna keep working on it and see where it can take us. Ended up the 61% win rate through just 18 games. Sitting around 8,000 infinite. Kind of lost a little SP. Messing around with some other decks that didn't make the channel here, but this one I think has a lot of promise. So gonna continue to work on it. Check it out. Try it. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Tell me what kind of Wiccan decks you like playing or any Supergiant decks that you like to play. If you aren't already, please just subscribe. Like the video to help with the algorithm. And I'll be bringing some more off-meta weirdness. Maybe some Sanctum Showdown stuff as that mode gets going. But thanks for watching, and later.